Good morning. This is going to be your last video. Tomorrow I will just have an activity for you to do and there won't be a video to go along with it, and then that'll be your last day. We are going to take a look again at box and whisker plots today and specifically talk about how do you look at a box and whisker plot and then answer questions about it. So something that's really important for you to understand about a box and whisker plot is that it is broken up into what are called quartiles, and that was a word that you learned last time. And those quartiles all represent 25% of the data. So when I say that, if we look at this box and whisker plot that you have on your screen, what I am saying is that from 38 to 72, this 25% of your data lies in there. From 72 to 88, you have another 25%. From 88 to 96, you have another 25%. And then from 96 to 102, you have another 25%. So if we add all of those up, we have 100%, which means we have all of the data represented in the box and whisker plot. Let's go ahead and take just a second to review what these values are that you're seeing up here on the box and whisker plot. So 38 is the lowest value, which is the minimum of your data set. 72, the start of the box, that's your quartile 1 value. So the end of your box, 96, is your quartile 3 value. And then remember, the line that's in your box is always the median value. Median means the middle value when your data is listed from least to greatest. And remember, that's not the same as the mean. And so then that makes 102 your maximum value for this data set. So now let's take a look at these questions now that we've talked that through. Number 1, what was the high score on the test? So the high score would be the maximum score. So we had a high score of 102 on this test. Then it says what percent of the class scored above a 72. So if I mark this, here's 72, and above a 72 would mean everything to here. So you have 25% between 72 and 88. Another 25%, so you have 25% here, another 25% here, and then another 25% here. So 25 plus 25 plus 25 would give you 75%. So 75% of the class scored above a 72. What was the median score on the test? Remember, like we labeled up here, the median is the line inside of the box. So the median score on this test was an 88. And then what percent of the class scored between 88 and 96? So again, if you take a look here, between 88 and 96, that's 25% of your data. So 25% of the students in the class scored in that range. So on number 5, it says, do you think that this test was too hard? So as you're thinking that through, I think that, or I hope that you're thinking no on this. And there are a number of different ways that you could approach explaining that. But I think one of the things that would be very easy to say, we know that 72 is a C. And you said up here on question number 2 that 75% of the students in the class scored above a 72. So we know that at least 75% of students earned a C. So if that many students are earning a C, it probably wasn't a C or higher, right? It's probably not that difficult. All right, let's look at one more thing here. So, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, let's see if I can move down. Oh, there we go. All right, so if we move to here, we have questions 7 through 9 here that we're looking at a different box and whisker plot. Notice that it has a title that says average minutes per night spent on homework. So I'm not going to label this one up. Let's just talk through each of these questions. So the first one says, what percent of the sophomores spend more than 60 minutes on homework per night? So more than 60% would be referencing from here to here. So that's from quartile 3 to the maximum, which is 1 quartile of data. And what percent of your data falls within 1 quartile? Hopefully you're saying 25%. So 25% of the sophomores spend more than 60 minutes on homework per night. Question 8 says, what is the range of times that the middle 50% of the sophomores spend on homework per night? So this is asking you to connect two ideas. So let's first start with the understanding of this idea of the middle 50%. So where does the middle 50% of your data fall in a box and whisker plot? So hopefully you're identifying that the middle 50% would be what falls in the box. That's your middle 50%. So then the other thing that we have to connect back to here is this idea of the range. So how do we calculate range? Hopefully you remember that range is the largest minus the smallest. So the largest value would be this right side end of the box, which is 60. And the smallest value would be the left end of the box, which is at 20. So the range of the middle 50% is 40. Now, that actually has a special name that is known as the IQR of your data set, which stands for the interquartile range. The interquartile range is the range of just the box, or the middle 50%. So then the final question, number 9, what percent of the sophomores spend less than 20 minutes per night on homework? So less than 20 minutes, we would be talking about this whisker here. And what percentage of the data falls in that whisker? So that's another quartile. And remember, in a quartile, you have 25% of your data. So as usual, I have posted an assignment on Canvas for you. It's 3 questions. You may take that up to 3 times and your highest score will be recorded. And like I said at the beginning of the video, tomorrow you will just have an activity to complete, and then that will be your final assignment of the quarter. Have a great day.